It looks like we're going to be live on time about coming up on 30 seconds early there, it looks like. So that's good news. Now let me see if I can find the broadcast on my iPad here just to make sure we don't have the chipmunk voice. We had that yesterday. For some reason that came back. It looks like we're going to be. Looks good. Okay, we are good. And we're brand new, live, and this is part 2 of Rolex Sell Steel, Buy Gold. This is part 2. And just to clarify from yesterday's broadcast, I was talking about selling the steel stunners that people have way over list price in, and I suggested that they sell them months ago, and those that didn't, they better sell fast because the market is softening rapidly, and you're not going to be able to get way over sticker price, way over list price on those steel stunners for long, if you still can, even as we speak. So those are the steel stunners that I was referring to sell. You know, for example, if you can get way over list price for a Daytona, steel Daytona, do it and take that money and buy a gold stunner. And in the market right now, you can get some deals on some gold stunners. And we talked about that a little bit in yesterday's broadcast. And this is a continuation today. And on the bench today, on the wrist, is the 005. This is a steel stunner. The 005. And on the bench is the 231 stunner. And that be the SBGA 231 Grand Seiko titanium diver stunner. That is a heavy use, daily use watch that's extremely comfortable on wrist because of the shape of the lugs, because of the weight or lack thereof of that special titanium alloy, and because of the construction of the bracelet, including the pin and collar system that gives the bracelet more flexibility than a fixed screw going through the center link. So they thought of every detail to make this as comfortable and as durable as possible. The pin and collar system, of course, is more durable than a screw system. It won't back out like a screw will, and won't cause wear to the center links like a screw will, because the screw, of course, is stationary, and that center link is pivoting on that stationary screw, which causes wear and tear, more wear and tear than the pin and collar, which the pin is actually floating in there. So there you go, a little bit of trivia. And by the way, I have links to the page I have on Grand Seiko on my website that goes into excruciating detail on all of this, and even talks about the pin and collar system. And Carlos is in the house. He says hello from Panama, doing some shopping before non-essential shops close tomorrow for 30 days. Whoa. Things are getting real, folks. Things are getting real. I heard in California, they're shutting everything down. They're shutting everybody in and pretty much shutting everything down. So things are getting real. We've got a lot of people panicking out there, and they were poorly prepped. They had poor planning. They didn't follow the 5P principle. The 5P principle is proper planning prevents poor performance, okay? And the vast majority of these folks out there that are panicking right now, they did not plan for something like this. They said, oh, you could never see something like this coming. Oh, well, some of us did see it coming, and some of us planned for the worst. You plan for the worst and hope for the best. That's the best way to operate. And let's see, Craig, you speak a lot about a lot of good sense, but not sure about buying gold watches. Gold as a commodity, yes, a watch, not so much. They are not in short supply. No, it's not an investment. No, you don't buy the gold watch as an investment. Buy it as something to wear and enjoy, and they look stunning on wrist. Yeah, they do. Like for example, a day date, a gold day date, a gold Patek Philippe. The gold stunner that I'm considering, let's see if I can pull up a picture of the 002. This 002, I mean, my gosh, look at how stunning that is on wrist. No, 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 no. You don't buy this as an investment. You buy this as something to wear and enjoy. You sell that steel stunner that you thought was an investment that you're about to get burned on, and you buy something to actually wear and enjoy. That is my advice. And of course, don't buy a luxury item like that if you can't afford it. If you're broke, you shouldn't be buying luxury items. So there you go. Just so we could clarify that. And speaking of something that's in short supply, the only thing I know of that are in short supply, there's two things. Your time is limited, right? Period. Full stop. And Bitcoin. Those two things are strictly limited supply items. I don't know of anything else. Maybe you can put in the chat what else. I mean, even land, they're making more of that, right? So Bitcoin and time. Those are kind of the two things that are limited. If the prices on gold watches are depressing, then yes, I'm with you. Oh my gosh, yes. This is the time to get deals, folks. There's a watch. Talk about a quick action. Let me see if I can pull it up here on the channel. Okay, this watch right here. This watch was $27,000. They were asking $27,000 USD. I just got an email that they lowered the price to, I believe, $14,000. Let me refresh and see if this is the same listing. Hold on, I'm refreshing. No, it's not. Okay, let me see if I can pull up the mail, because they relisted this at I think at $14,000. So it was $27,000, folks. Just so you know, and now they've lowered the price. Here, I'm gonna find it. Don't bear with me. I'm not neck talking you. I'm not neck talking here. I'm bringing the real deal. The real deal. Now there it is. Bam, just like that. $14,000. It was $27,000. Okay? And so, yeah, it's going to be a buyer's market, folks. There are going to be people out there that are going to be panicking. This is number 64 of 150. It's got the deployant clasp. Only reason I wouldn't be a player on this one is it's thicker. It's 13 point something mils thick. I've seen this watch in person, and to me it's a little bit thick for what I want for a dress watch. But it's a very interesting piece, and yeah, you're going to be seeing some blood in the street. You're going to be seeing some deals. Deals are going to be had. Steve is going to come on soon, and the Stevester. Let me get. I've got. Okay, I've got Skype up, and hopefully he will call. And the Stevester, we can bring him in. I've got Skype full screen now on my laptop, ready to go. And Carlos says hello to the Stevester. And so, yeah, I think this is the time to negotiate and to make deals. And, of course, I think it's always the time to negotiate and make deals. But life goes on. And, you know, are we tightening the belts a little bit here at the Fortress? Are we cutting back a little bit? Are we on an austerity program to some extent? Yes, a little bit. But life goes on. Life goes on. And we're going to be talking to the Stevester here in a minute. And the last time we spoke with him, he was marshaling on. He was moving forward. I'll tell you, what a difference, though, a day makes. Yesterday, things were kind of looking up. And I thought the market was close to bottoming. And we pulled back another 4.55% on the Dow, and let's see what Boeing went down another 2.76%. That's a stock I have an eye on. It's at $95. I was ready to start scaling back in. I mentioned yesterday, and with this pullback today, I think I'm going to wait a little bit longer. I did buy a couple stocks the other day, but just a small position. So yeah, but things are getting interesting. Let's answer this call. Let me pull up my, get my headphones here so I'll be able to hear the Stevester loud and clear. Can you hear me, Steve?
I can hear you very well. How about me?
Perfect. You're coming through loud and clear, wall-to-wall, treetop tall, and I got you on the screen. That's an Omega on the screen.
It is.
I like
And
that
then
bracelet.
one other little thing I want to make you aware of. I
Hmm.
have a special guest,
Okay.
uh, one of my associates. This is Chris.
Yes.
He's our one of our watch experts
Uh,
and jewelry designer and long-term part of our team.
Hard-working Chris. There you go.
Hardworking
So
Chris
you
is
you
here.
have a camera on him and a camera on you. How are you doing this?
Huh?
Are you using two cameras there? One for him and one for you?
Wait a minute. Yes, I am. I can.
Wow. That's pretty
Yeah.
sophisticated.
Well,
That, that,
we pride ourselves on our sophistication here at Little Treasury Jewelers. Didn't you
well,
know that,
well,
Craig?
there you go. I am impressed. But now you're taller. You look taller. You got to get a chair that's the same height
I,
for Chris.
I know. We got to. He doesn't have one that adjusts, so
Oh, okay.
I think there's a phone book somewhere around here,
Oh well. Oh well. It is
or a
what
couple of
it.
phone books.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh my goodness.
Sorry,
But
Chris.
we digress. All right. So, but first, before you start showing us some stunning Omegas, give us an update. I was just saying that the market went down a little bit today, and things were looking up a little bit yesterday, and now today they turned down a little bit more. And I said we're going to try to marshal on and push forward. And what's your outlook there at Little Treasury? Are you all going to muscle through all this?
Okay, well, we're not about the market. Yes, I'm in, but I hold, as you know. I'm just close my eyes, and so
Well, when I say martial on, I mean I'm talking about
and
business wise.
yeah. Okay, let me update you.
Hmm.
Things got a little quiet for a couple of days, and
Okay.
then today some of our watch folks turned on, and that Calatrava went walking out the door about
Good.
25 minutes ago.
Good. Good.
A new customer,
Good.
and I think Chris here has a couple things working, and
Good.
so there's still life out there.
Good.
But obviously, we're being super cautious.
Hmm.
Got a
Sure.
lot of wipes going, and the hand cleaner, which and washing hands
Yep.
furiously.
Yep.
Uh, have special cleaner for the glass after we have a guest in, and Chris has made a special potion with a lot of alcohol in it, and being careful. But there may be some government things going on here that are going to make us have to pull our horns in a little bit more, and we'll be focusing more on our online and over the phone
Sure.
customers, which are
Sure.
very
And
active.
you're taking some steps to have more capabilities in that area. You're looking at ways to video chat with clients and all that sort
Right.
of thing.
Whether FaceTime or
Hmm.
whatever that people can do, Skype in,
Hmm.
and we're getting everybody tuned up to handle it like that. So
Good.
we do have a good volume of people who are dealing with us over the phone, and we want to
Good.
add a little video content to that and see how that goes. It's probably
Well,
actually the wave of the future
yep.
in many
I made
respects.
I made an announcement yesterday that this channel, it's always been a troll-free zone.
Right.
And I announced yesterday that it's a pansy-free zone. That
Uh-huh.
the pansies need not tune in. That these are just
Ooh.
the hardcore survivalists and the folks that are going to marshal forward. And it sounds like you're in that camp. We're going to be doing business one way or the other.
Yeah, we're
And
trying to. But
there,
we want to be safe for ourselves and our customers at the same
sure,
time.
sure, sure. And there's some stunners out there to be had. I'm sure you'll be
Mhm.
making deals. I'm sure you'll be picking up some watches that are interesting and taking some advantage too.
Yeah, on the supplier side, a lot of the folks have uh, vacated the camp. So, in terms of information on some of the new models, it's
Hmm.
just not out there for us right now. And with all the meetings that were planned being canceled,
Hmm.
and a lot of the vendors actually have phones aren't being answered.
Hmm.
So we hope that's going to turn around a bit, and they can play it a little bit the way we are as well.
Good, good. I'm going to read real quick a couple of comments in the
Yeah,
chat.
go ahead, catch up with that.
Carlos says, I'm very close to my Rolex AD, but I think that I'm not going to visit them. Maybe I should. Carlos, if you can, pop your head in and give us a live report. That'd be cool. He's out and about. They're going to close shopping for 30 days there, so he's doing
Uh,
his shopping today. That citizen is that pic looked nice. Joey Ben said, I don't know what you're trying to say there exactly, but he wasn't showing a citizen. He was showing a Omega at first. But anyway,
yeah, yeah, let me,
he has citizen as well, so we'll work on that.
right.
And let's see here. I assume the Rolex AD is not essential, and they're going to be closed for at least 30 days, says Carlos. Hey, it's Chris. How's it going, buddy? This is Durr. Durr saying hi to Chris. And
You?
Boeing will come back. They are already pressed down by the 737 MAX issues, which they will get through a bit. Exactly. I agree with all that. Hi, Steve. David Williams in the house is saying
Yeah,
hi,
hi, Dave.
Steve.
How are you?
And Durr says, Steve, tell us about the new Vermont NIMS project. Possible watch. Hi, Chris. And then let's see, we got another hi, Chris, from David, and then we've got Jason says hi, gents. Okay, so we're caught up on the comments, and folks, put anything you'd like in the comments. We'll try to get to it. And now we question Omega X33.
Yeah.
So okay, let's go back to your watch and let's move along.
Okay. So Chris will talk about this a little bit. Let me get that on the screen by itself. Whoop, that's Chris. Here's the watch.
There we go, stunner.
I know I have a little note on there. I'm not sure I can get that off, but forgive us, Craig.
All
Well,
right.
it looks good.
We have a Omega X33 Skywalker. This is the newest version of the X33, which is in the Speedmaster line. It's the only watch other than the Speedmaster Moonwatch that's certified to go into outer space.
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact, though, this watch cannot go outside of the space capsule. It will cease to work, but while it's in the space capsule, it'll be just fine.
Okay.
So just in case any of you guys EVA, that's perfect for you. But really, it's a very lightweight, functional watch that if you're someone that is worried about the apocalypse, it's perfect for you.
It's titanium, right, Chris?
Yes.
Okay. And what about availability of this? I think you were telling me something about that earlier.
So we have been told that this is the last one from Omega's warehouse that's new. So we have it here. It's the last one.
I like that bracelet. What does the clasp look like? Can you show us that?
Sure.
I've been watching a few of the old James Bond movies recently. They're on Netflix. And so I've been noticing that those Omegas a little more.
Here's the problem. Let me get over to the...
Oh, wow, that looks good, yeah.
Yep, sorry about that.
It was in focus, but it drifted back out again, Steve.
Yep, there you go.
There we go.
That's plastic on there, so don't worry about the little diggy looks.
Can you open it?
I think I can.
Okay.
You can tell how light it is when you see it moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you are, and you want to see
very nice.
what's going on here. So this does have
that's a nice looking piece.
Whoops, sorry about that.
That would definitely be a heavy use piece.
Mm-hmm.
And waterproof to 100 meters?
Chris?
I believe it's 100 at least.
Okay.
We can check on the back there.
Yeah, that's an impressive looking piece. I like the solid end links. I mean, everything looks robust.
Yeah, it's very nice, very different. A lot of people haven't seen these.
Mm-hmm. Very legible.
Yep.
That would be a grab and go piece, because it's quartz. You don't have to worry about it sitting down for a few days and stopping. It doesn't matter. Just grab it and go.
And to what I was saying earlier, too, I mean, really, if you have one watch in your collection, this would be the watch. This is something you can wear all the time. Super lightweight. If you're like an engineer, this is perfect.
How thick is it?
We'd have to get out the caliper.
Okay.
Great.
Oh, we forgot to get it.
Here it is.
So here it is. Hang
Yeah,
on.
we've got it.
Yeah, we're going to caliper it right now.
It's a good competitor to the Breitling Aerospace, if anyone's familiar with that.
We got 15.5 in my informal reading. Don't hold me to a millimeter or two, guys.
Yeah, I think your calipers measure higher than they actually are.
Conservative.
I hate to tell you. Yeah,
Give a
exactly.
conservative caliber here.
Exactly. Let's see. These are cool watches, titanium, and David, he posted that before you said titanium. Okay, so Durr says, why wouldn't the watch work outside of the space capsule? Pressure? Question mark. Standard speedies are good for outside of the capsule.
Correct.
And okay, so we got Steve. Don't know if you're aware, but international customers cannot make online inquiries via the site. The message format mandates a U.S. format telephone number and bounces everyone else. Hope this helps.
It does indeed. You're talking about the text feature, I believe. Is that right?
Can you clarify in the chat which feature you're talking about? And maybe even send an email to steve@littletreasury.com because he'd love to hear the details on that. steve@littletreasury.com.
Yeah. There's also a contact us form on the website that you can fill out, I believe, at the bottom of our page. If you send me your email, I'll show you where it is, and that is insensitive.
And Durr says, if only GS made their clasp like that with milled metal versus stamped metal. Well, Durr, I hear you, but I like my clasp. It's working great.
Yeah, there you are.
And, when you go to milled, you add thickness. You add even more thickness. So there's that. Sometimes you may or may not need that. Okay, David Williams in the house, a lot of great functions on those. And Michael says that Omega is actually pretty cool. The Breitling Aerospace is a very cool watch, says Durr. What is the case size? 42 mil? Question mark. David Williams. Case size.
Let me come back to Durr's question. Why wouldn't the watch work outside of the space capsule? I believe it's actually the temperature outside in space. The standard moon watch is mechanical, so it doesn't really affect it. This is a quartz watch here. So
Okay.
it has a screen on it, and the screen does not work. I think the quartz portion might actually.
Okay.
So size-wise, this is a nominal 42, but if you look at the pushers all around, that's going to gross up the wearability size, plus the crown protectors here. So, but the avoiding those, it's about 42.
Gotcha. So it's a good size watch. It's for somebody that wants a good size tool watch for sure.
So let's mix it up a bit. And
there's a question: do you have any Globemaster steel with the blue face? Kevin in the house asking that question.
oh, you guys always ask these difficult questions. Are you a buyer?
Kevin, Globemaster steel with a blue face. Are you interested in the piece? Let us know. And Carlos says, I managed to get a half gallon of ethanol in the chemical supply store. I will trade it for a Rolex Pepsi. And let's see, we got another question here. GTMX says, yes, it's the contact inquiry form that mandates the U.S. number. Not picking holes, just want you to succeed for all the great content you give us.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. These are the little nits that are hard for us to find on this end, and so very helpful. I don't know if I can cure that in the short run, but definitely I'm going to bring it up to the supplier of that feature.
That's a stunner you have on the screen now. Tell us about that.
Okay, that's the Globemaster that was just being inquired about.
Okay.
I can't say as many great things as I would love to say about this. It's a really, really nice piece, and a lot of people don't know about it. They should know about it. If you look at the dial, it has that beautiful pie pan. The bezel is tungsten. Tungsten.
Interesting.
Something really interesting about this too is if you look at the bracelet, that's not on any other watch that they make. That's a special bracelet.
Okay.
So a lot of times you'll see this watch. If you do see this watch, you'll see it on a leather strap. So I really think it looks great. A lot more sporty and everyday on a bracelet. Moving on, the 8900 movements in here.
Okay.
So that's one of their top movements with the twin barrels. I believe it's a 60-hour power reserve, anti-magnetic completely, essentially. They say 15,000 Gauss. And it's meta certified, so it's going to be accurate to within 0 to 5 seconds a day.
That's a nice looking piece. That looks like a nice all-arounder.
It's definitely is a beautiful all-arounder.
What do we know the size on that one?
Uh-oh. I'll bring out the conservative meter.
It says 39.
Yeah, 38.8
So that's a nice size for an all-arounder, for sure.
by 13.
So that means it's probably more like 12 something.
Right.
'Cause,
Thank you,
yeah.
Craig.
I've got a
Would you send me one of your calipers, please?
there you go.
Right.
So yeah, somebody was just trying to call in on the landline. They don't realize that I'm live on the television here, but I took care of that issue. All right, let's see here. We've got, I was able to get my hands on the hottest item of 2020, toilet paper. Durr in the house. I saw your photo that you shared. Yeah, I saw that. It's harder to get than a stainless steel Daytona these days. I'll trade some for a Brumont. Okay, there you go. Ballpark price on that blue face. I don't think you guys give prices over the
I'm
broadcast.
going to give you the MSRP.
Yeah, and then you have to talk
7,200 on that.
7,200 MSRP.
Yeah.
Okay.
I favor this watch too. This is maybe my favorite Omega.
So definitely call Steve for the special subscriber price, but you have to be a subscriber to this channel in order to get that.
And Chris can help you. Sometimes he helps you better than I do. So,
yeah, contact Chris.
To his
By
to
the
his,
way, your focus looks a little, there it got locked
to his
on.
eternal peril.
Are you, Stevester, are you using autofocus on your camera on you?
I am.
Because you should probably just focus that at a particular distance and leave it.
No, I bounce around too much.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
It's in focus now. I
The
think.
bounce around guy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see what else we got here. Globe Masters are indeed nice all-arounders, says David Williams. He's confirming that. Globe Masters very classy, says Durr. And Cheetown says, hey, Chip and Company. There you go. We're all here, absolutely. In
Yeah,
the house.
hi, Tri-Town.
Oh my gosh, we got a stunner on the screen now. Look at that Omega. Holy cow.
Craig likes this piece.
That jumps
Chris
right out
does.
at you.
Chris loves it.
That jumps right out at you.
Yeah, why do you like this so much, Chris? Yeah, I know you love it.
Well, first off, I preface this. I have the blue dial version of this. I probably would have picked this up had it come out when I was purchasing, but I love the look of this watch. I love how the white dial just contrasts so heavily with the black, and then the black rubber strap. It reminds me of the space shuttle, which is kind of an Omega thing as well. But most importantly, I mean, it's loaded with nice features. It has a ceramic dial, and if you can see the waves, they're laser etched onto that dial. Just like the watch that we were talking about before, the Globemaster, it has a similar movement. It has an 8800 movement in it too. So that's completely anti-magnetic, up to 15,000 Gauss, which is like an X-ray machine. And it is meta certified, so 0 to 5 seconds a day accuracy. And
steel case.
steel case.
Okay.
When you do purchase a watch like this, you can actually log into Omega's website, and it'll tell you all the testing details, all the exact measurements that they took when they were testing your watch for metas too. So
The results on that particular piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's super cool.
Yeah.
So, folks, those of you that have a Rolex steel stunner that you can still get out of at a really good price, do that and jump on this Omega and take the rest of the cash and buy toilet paper.
Yeah.
That's how that works. Make a move. Make
Buy
a
it from
move.
Durr.
That's the theme of this show, by the way, today, is sell those Rolex steel stunners that you paid way over list price for, and get yourself something like this Omega.
And sell them to Steve because he has some people lined up for them.
There you go. Steve will do the whole deal. You'll
Yeah.
trade that stunner
Wait a minute.
in.
I don't want me. I want the watch.
Trade the stunner in, and
Mm-hmm.
get yourself an Omega, and then get some cash. There you go. There's another stunner.
What do we got here, Chris?
Okay, well, this is a brand new Planet Ocean. We were told by our rep that we're one of the only people in the area that have this one. What really stands out here is the bezel. The entire bezel is lubed. It will all glow. So that's highly unusual.
Wow. So even the orange part glows.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yes.
That's amazing.
But if I had my black light, we could. Why don't you grab it, Chris?
Yeah, sure.
We're gonna get the light. See what
Let
happens.
me catch up on the comments while he does that. Durr says
Yeah.
Steve's looks like he's rocking the beautiful Fopi 18 karat gold bracelet. He's always rocking that. And then David Williams says the white SMP is sweet. That white and black Seamaster looks awesome on the black rubber, says Durr. And Cheetown says Seamaster great white. And Jaden says wearing my Seamaster 300M today.
Very cool.
And David says SMPs are built like a tank. And great advice, Craig, says David Williams. Well, absolutely, that's what you get on this channel. And Durr's in the house, and he says SMPs are one of the best bang for buck watches you can get. The rubber straps are incredible and very comfortable too. It's coming from Durr, and he knows his stuff. David Williams says, set you have the blue one. Yes. I don't know. Maybe that was a typo. The blue one. I don't know which one he's talking about. Oh, look at that loom. Wow.
You can't really see the bezel, though, with the light.
Yeah, but still,
But
you can see the numbers.
is it
and
just
all.
the characters in the bezel or the entire thing?
I was told it was the entire thing, but we'll have to really put that to the test.
Yeah.
We'll have to go in a dark space and check it out after the show. Anyway, it's quite a
and
pretty
say
old watch.
David Williams, wearing it right now, the old quartz model. I love it. Oh, so he's wearing the Bond watch, like one of the first ones that was quartz. That is a cool piece because it's only about 12 mils thick.
Mm.
Do you ever get any of those older Bond watches in?
Not really. Chris, do you recall any? I don't think so.
No. The only Bond watch that we've gotten in was the last one for, what was it? I'm drawing a blank on the movie. Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Okay. Do you have any coming in, the new style one?
We do, yes. Okay. We're not sure exactly when they'll be here, but we will have it.
So, folks, if you want one of those, you better get on the list and lock it down because I don't think there will be very many, correct?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see what else. Man, this is great. The whole gang is here. I'm loving it. They're in the house. Okay, there you go. The gang is in the house. I'm refreshing just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Yep, we're good. We're caught up.
Okay, let's get another.
While you're getting the next watch up, have you gotten any new Grand Seikos in recently?
We've had some of the pieces we've been missing refreshed, and nothing that I haven't reported on.
Do you have the 005 in stock?
Yeah, I have that. The 03s.
So, folks, I'm switching to my camera real quick. Here's the 005 on my wrist. That's the blue dial that in certain sunlight really looks stunning. And then it's got the red GMT hand. So that's what's on my wrist right there. And then I'm switching to the bench shot. That's the 231 diver. That's the titanium diver, the SBGA 231. There are links in the chat to my Grand Seiko page on my website that talks about both of those watches in excruciating detail. And so Steve has the 005 back in stock and the 003, which is the black dial version.
And the new ones too that we've talked about.
Okay, good.
But
In
yeah,
stock.
and we're waiting for a refresh on the seasons watches. We are waiting for some springs and some winters.
You have two, though, right?
No, we have the summer and fall in stock.
That's
but,
what I mean. Yeah.
The others are very hot, and if someone wants one of those, we suggest you get on our list with a deposit.
Yes.
And they just fly out of here.
Really, any of the popular GS models, they really should get on the list at this point because, I mean, I've just been hearing that things are tightening up. So, absolutely get on the list with Steve, and see, depending on the model, you can get a subscriber deal. See what you can get. See what kind of deal you can get.
And I see Der Stiefel has passed on a couple of more people. He's been fabulous. He's referred so many people to us, and really nice folks. So thank you, Der.
Well, there you go. Now, Steve, I'm seeing there's something wrong with your image. Can you check your video feed? It's frozen on the.
What's happening?
I'm seeing a frozen image of you, and
it's now on a watch. So
yeah, it's not on. That's not what you're feeding us on Skype. It's a frozen image of you and just part of the screen.
Oh wow.
Not quite sure how I'm going to move that.
Take a look at your Skype viewer and see, and I'll cut back to you when you get that.
Yeah, I see it, and I don't know why it's hung.
Do you want to hang up and call me back?
I'm going to do that.
Okay.
So, sayonara for a moment.
So Steve's going to call back. This is what live television's all about. This is what happens sometimes in live television. Sometimes you get a little foible. See if I can get him back here. And let me go to full screen. Okay, and now I'm seeing myself on your screen, so you got to switch back. There we go. I got an Omega. We have contact. Wow, and do we have an Omega? That's a stunner there. That is a stunner. Is that gold and steel?
Sedna gold. It's their rose gold mixture that is supposed to basically last forever, never change color.
Yep.
And steel, yes.
That's a stunner there.
Yeah, this is the new Seamaster Professional chronograph.
Mm-hmm.
It has the ceramic dial, just like the other one we were looking at.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually has ceramic pushers. If we can show those off a little bit. Look at that.
Surrounded by Sedna gold, of course.
I'll tell you what, they're upping their game. Is that, do you have the impression that Omega's really stepping up their game a little bit here?
Yeah, I think for sure. Beautiful piece. And it's actually a bit of a beast, I'll tell you.
Yeah. You got to really be somebody to rock it. This is a heavy-duty piece.
But you could do it, Craig.
That I'll have to take a look next time I'm in the store.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might be in the store at some point.
Well, I'm hoping
fairly soon. So
unless we get shut down.
We'll see how all that works.
We'll keep a good distance from one another, though.
Oh,
yeah.
Maybe we should highlight the buckle there. The buckle's very special on this watch. It actually has like a ratchet to it. You can kind of open it up there. So best micro adjuster out there. You just push. See where it says push?
Yep. Yeah, those are nice. That's a nice setup.
Yes. And that can be found on all of the Seamaster Professionals. But
Grand Seiko can take a few notes off of that. They can definitely do a little copycat there.
Yeah, maybe this might fit on one of our Grand Seiko.
The only disadvantage of that setup is with my system on my 231, I can real quickly extend mine without ever even taking the watch off my wrist, which is convenient. And I do it sometimes a few times a day. I mean, I go out in the humidity or whatever, I extend it, and then I come back in the air conditioning, I push it back in, and the watch never has to come off the wrist. You just lift up the little, flip lock, and you just extend it out a little bit, flip the flip lock down, and then you can push it back in without even lifting the flip lock. You can push it, back in a notch at a time. Really convenient. I mean, you remember when I first got that watch, Steve, I was like, I wasn't enamored with that clasp, right?
You were actually grousing a bit, to be honest.
And then after
Right?
I used it for a few weeks, I'm like, man, this is pretty cool. And then I used it for a couple more months, and I'm like, no way would I ever change this clasp. I mean,
Yeah.
it really is functional. It's all about function.
Okay.
Let's see. Is the Snowflake a lead time watch, Steve? Do you have the Snowflake in stock?
It is not a lead time. We are well stocked with Snowflake.
So he does have Snowflakes ready to go.
Yeah. And
That's from the Mighty Rat. The Mighty Rat. He's got a Snowflake ready to go for you with your name on it. Mighty Rat. And Carlos is making the last stop in the liquor store.
what'd you get, Carlos?
He probably bought the whole store out.
Right.
Carlos doesn't fool around. He's stocked up. That's the neat thing about liquor. It ain't going bad anytime soon. You can stock up on that. David Williams in the house, and he's got some French or whatever. I can't read French, so you'll have to read that, Steve. Okay. So,
That French is Spanish.
oh, okay. He's got some Spanish in there. Okay, so there you go. Now we got another Stunner Omega coaxial on the screen.
What's the color dial there for you?
It looks like a grayish to me.
Well, it's a green.
Oh, so it's like a dark green, or
Yeah.
that's the color balance on the white balance on the. It's
I
hard.
just-
It's hard to
I
get.
never get the green right.
Yeah,
I know.
it's hard to do. It's hard to
Yeah.
get the green right.
But it's a really pretty little piece. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, I think if you want an Aquaterra that is a little more sophisticated, this is the way to go. It's a dark, subtle green, and actually the strap is green too. And this watch itself, the Aquaterra, is a great one for all-around usage. It's supposed to be, if you want to go to the beach, you can wear, and if you want to take it into your boardroom, you can wear it there too, especially with a bracelet.
That's a heavy duty piece there, absolutely.
Craig, would you take that into your boardroom?
Well, sure, absolutely. That's a stunner. That's a stunner. But now the only thing with me is on my shirt cuffs. A lot of my shirt cuffs are pretty tight, so I don't know if I could get that under the shirt cuff.
Oh, come on! I think
So
you could.
it depends on your individual situation as far as how much room you have there.
We didn't measure it yet, Craig.
Yeah.
So we're going to give it a measure. 13.5,
So it's
and
probably more like 13.
or maybe 12.8.
Yeah.
But,
So it could be
It's
pushed into
pretty
a dress.
trim,
It
pretty
could
trim.
be pushed into a dress situation. Absolutely.
The movement of it. The movement's beautiful on this watch too, by the way. You have the 8900 here too, just like in the Globemaster.
And David Williams says whiskey is the original cold cough medicine.
Yeah, right.
So plenty of whiskey. You can wash your hands with it and then drink it.
Well, bring some of that by, Dave.
Right.
That's not it's not going to hurt it one bit. You wash your hands with it and then drink it. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Good to go. Everything's disinfected then.
Right. But
You could probably take a bath in that stuff and then still drink it. You'd be good.
I don't know about that. So, look, Der Stiefel just threw down the gauntlet to Chris and Ethan. He's threatening to outsell them And
Bring it on.
I had to send you a little treasury name tag, maybe a little tip also, eh?
There you go. Ha ha. There you go.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But
They're
don't get them working from home like you.
in
And
the
Joe, looks
house.
like we can be ready for St. Patrick's Day next year. Just let us know.
Yeah.
And yeah, absolutely.
So
Steve, show the light. You did the light on that one already. Yeah.
yeah,
So,
it didn't help with the green. It showed
okay.
the loom, but
Yeah.
not the green.
Yeah.
So I'll have to work on my green here because I'm a fan of green watches. And
You've got a pretty big selection of Omegas there, huh?
uh, yeah, our rep tells us we have one of the biggest around. So
Good.
um, help us out, guys.
Let's spread the word around because we've been spreading the word around about the Grand Seikos there, but he is an Omega dealer, so there you go. He's an Omega AD. Now I got a black
Absolutely.
screen, just so you know.
And Chi-Town's asking about any exciting Speedmasters. I think we're closed now, and I think everything's out of the case. Chris and
Okay.
I are here alone. What do you think, Chris? They're not available now. Would that be right?
They're pretty much put away. Uh, we do have some racing models in stock. We do have a Dark Side of the Moon in stock. We have the Sapphire Sandwich in stock as well.
Okay.
All right,
So is that your picture-in-picture that you have on?
I'm trying to get it all set up, and usually, as usual, pressing a lot of keys. Yeah, it looks like my camera on the watches is blanked out for one reason or another. It seems
Well,
to do that
well,
after a
and
few minutes.
also for
But that's
some,
it. That's all we have to show
okay.
right now.
So just FYI, for some reason we've got this picture-in-picture on there as well. So we've got the two of you guys side by side, and then we've got a smaller version of that same thing, picture-in-picture, that's over top of
Well,
your eyeballs right
to be
now,
honest,
Steve.
you really can't get enough of us.
Yeah, let's put some more.
Yeah.
So I
So
don't know how to correct that.
okay, no worries. Yeah, you guys are going to be able to definitely use Skype also to communicate directly with customers.
And my lovely lady wants to go say hi to everybody. So say hi.
Hi.
Hello, the lovely Linda.
Yeah,
Absolutely, Linda in the house.
yeah.
Absolutely. We're all pulling together. We're all pulling
Yeah.
together. This
That's great. Thank you.
virtual community that we're building here, and we're going to build
Sure.
on it. And until further notice, we're going to be doing broadcasts as often as possible on this channel.
Yeah.
And I've been doing them almost every day here since
Yeah. Yeah. You've been pulling the cart. We
since
appreciate it.
since the
Sure.
since the shutdowns started. So we're going to keep marshaling on and do what we need to do. What else do we have before you guys take off? And by the way, any updates on the stunner, the gold stunner that you've got coming in, the
Now
002?
the whole Seiko crew is taken to the hills for a few days, so they're incommunicado at the moment, unfortunately. And but
Joe Kirk included?
haven't talked to Joe lately, but the offices seem to be empty at the moment, and
Gotcha.
I'll try to track him down and maybe we can get a little more info. We were supposed to be getting our stock of those at the end of this month. I am wondering. We'll see.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Talk to him and see if he can get us some more stats too. So any
yeah.
information that we can
Yeah.
chew on. Let's see. Durr says, Steve, how is the new house?
Ooh, the new house is fine. We're we're rattling around in a bit. We're trying to add some furniture. Everything is very slow getting together, and pretty soon that grass is going to be growing. And we've been living prior to this on a postage stamp, and this is a bit of a yard to take care of. Nothing huge, nothing like most of you guys have, but it's going to be a handful for us. So, but we're excited.
And you're going to have a studio space in there too, right?
yeah, I will if
Okay.
my wife will build it for me.
There you go.
Yeah,
All right.
hint, hint. No, I will, and it'll be a little more commodious than what I have here.
Good,
So that's
good.
it.
So,
Okay.
all right, keep us posted,
Okay.
and we'll think about what we do with the next show, and when. Let
Yeah,
me
I'd like
know.
suggestions in the comments, what you'd like to see, and we can be a little more prepared and take it from there.
Now there have been more questions about Citizen lately, so maybe we should do another Citizen show fairly soon,
Okay, we can do that.
talking about those.
All
So,
right, love to.
all right. Well, you
All
guys
right.
keep marshaling on, and we'll do what we need to do.
All right. And thank you, everybody, for watching. And reach out to us with your watch needs and also what you'd like to see us present here on the channel. So have a good evening, everybody, and be well.
That's Steve and Chris at Little Treasury, littletreasury.com, littletreasury.com. And Steve's email address is steve@littletreasury.com. I wish these headphones were a little more comfortable. They're great monitors. They're great headphones for monitoring, but they're not very comfortable. And I went through all the research about trying to figure out what to get that's comfortable, and there are all kinds of like contradictory reviews out there. This one's comfortable, this one isn't. Yeah, so I don't know what the deal is. So anyway, I got before we wrap up, I got a funny story for you guys. There's a buddy of mine. He actually called earlier in the middle of the show here, and he's all concerned about the current situation. He has a business, and so for years, I mean literally years, I've been saying that I think it's wise to have zero debt and to have an emergency fund in place. Dave Ramsey says 3 to 6 months worth of emergency fund. I like to have a year's worth, and then some. And he always laughed at me and so on and so forth. And oh no, I like to use other people's money. I like leverage. All this stuff, right? And so of course now he's crying the blues. His business is really potentially going to get hit hard, and he says basically he's a month or two from being homeless, right? Type of thing. And then we were talking about this thing, and I said, I think China should be held responsible. I say, if let's say this thing ends up costing the United States of America $4 trillion. So throw out a number, right? Let's say it's a hit of $4 trillion. I think we should send China the bill. We'll give them several years to pay it, right? But I think they should pay the bill. And then, get this. This is the funny part. This is the punchline. Then I said, oh, and by the way, if they don't pay, we owe them a bunch of money, right? We cancel out those debts, the money that we owe them, right? Oh, and he says, my buddy, he says, oh, you can't do that. You can't do that because then nobody would ever loan us money again. And I said, and that would be a bad thing, that the United States government stops borrowing money and stops going into debt? That would be bad? So yeah, we have a real disconnect here. Everybody thinks the thing to do is to borrow money. I have another good client on Frederick.com. They own several locations, and they had a grand opening of a business, and they had the not the grand opening, but they had the what do you call it? The groundbreaking, right? They had all the VIPs there. I did a video on it. VIPs groundbreaking. And they're, thanking everybody, the VIPs that are there and all. And of course, the people from the bank, they lauded them. Like, oh, yeah, the such and such bank. I won't mention the name of the bank. Oh, they've been so helpful and so on and so forth and blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking, oh, my God, they borrowed a bunch of money from this bank to build this new location. And they're just in a hock up to their eyeballs. with the bank and God knows who else. And I'm like, man, I wouldn't want to be in that situation. And this was several months ago, right? I didn't know this big downturn was coming, right? Nobody really knew that when it was coming. I thought a big downturn was going to come. I've been talking about it, as you know, but nobody knew exactly when. But it came, and it's here. And now all these people, you know, with this heavy debt load and everything and big mortgages and all this stuff, maybe at some point they'll learn that may not be the best plan. We'll see. We'll see how this all works out. So anyway, I figured that was just kind of a little side note, little funny thing. Durr says, let's keep it going. We're just getting started. Durr says, I made an offer on an 18238 white dial, stick markers, yellow gold date today and got turned down today. Might have to wait another couple of weeks and try again. Absolutely, man. Absolutely, Durr. Hang in there, man. You'll get it. That 6-digit piece, that's a nice piece. Solid center links. Depending on the year it was made, it'll have the newer style clasp with the beak style clasp. Do you know what year it was made, Durr? Let us know in the chat. And Kevin says, sounds like a plan, Craig. Okay. Durr, be patient and consolidate in the meantime. There you go. Craig, what type of pen is that? This is a DuPont. Let's get a close-up. I have a couple of them. I have this one that I got in about 1984, and I have another one that I got in like 1978 that's thinner. That is called Vermeil. It's 925. It's sterling silver with a heavy gold plate over it. I carried it for years and years and years. And these days I carry this one more often than that one. I like the little thicker, little feel of it. Let's see here. It's a 2006 and even has the Re-halt engraving and comes with three. I don't know. Oh, okay. Re-halt engraving. Okay. Comes with a 3-year warranty. Okay, cool. Yeah, 2006 is going to have the newer style beak clasp and everything. That's going to have the whole deal. And hopefully it comes with all the links that came with it new and everything. Beautiful. And any thoughts on FP, Jorn? Think it's fascinating how technical they are. Jet keeping a somewhat classic shape. I'm not that familiar with them, to tell you the truth. I'm really not the guy to ask. I've liked the look of some of their watches. I've seen some of their watches, and I kind of like the look of some of them. But I guess I just like to buy a watch that I think I can wear for decades and not have any issues and so on and so forth. So some of the more exotic brands I'm a little bit scared of, and I'm a little bit scared of when they do need to be serviced. Like, for example, a Patek. I mean, you know, you send it in, I mean, they're going to blister you big time. And I think they're a little more likely to need servicing than something like a Rolex, for example, even an Omega, or, of course, that, let's pull up the 002 one more time. I think this 002 will be extremely robust with the spring drive, manual wind, spring drive in that thing. That's going to be an extremely robust movement and everything. So I kind of like buy the Toyota of watches, you know, the watch that'll just go and go and go and go and you don't worry about it. The Toyota or Lexus, right? The GS is more like a Lexus, right? That's the way I look at it. So yeah, as opposed to like buying the Ferrari, right? Or the BMW or the Mercedes, the thing that gives a lot of trouble, right? I kind of stay away from those. I finished storing everything, starting my afternoon hike now. There you go. Absolutely, good move. I think I showed some of my stocks. Oh, by the way, Bitcoin took a little dip there. Now it's back up to 61.63, but it's down 2% on the day, and the market went down, as you know. Things are looking a little bit dicey right now. I thought that we were out of the woods, but may not be. So be cautious out there, folks. If you do start getting back in, if you got out, as I advised, a couple weeks ago, actually I advised a couple months ago for people to get out and go to cash. If you did that and you're still sitting on cash, I would slowly get back in. I'd maybe get maybe 5% back in, and then maybe wait a week or so and see what's going on, and maybe go in another 5%. And I'd just slowly go in, because we may still have some more downside here, folks. This is a little bit dicey right now. What type of leather strap would you put on a snowflake? Now, that's a good question. I have seen them with a lot of different kinds of straps. I would personally probably put a strap that would match my belt and shoes if I had my choice. If I generally always wear black belt and black shoes, I'd get a black, probably alligator strap, something like that. If I generally wear dark brown accessories like that, belt and shoes and stuff, I'd probably just do a dark brown alligator myself. Something I like the Grand Seiko straps. I like the look of those straps. I think they're classy looking. So yeah. Is gold going back up? I'm not following gold. I have some gold, but not that much. Not enough that I'd bother to follow it right now. Did you hear that Buffett said gold will max out at 5,000, so it won't go higher after that? Who knows? I doubt it'll get that high. I would doubt it will get that high, but we'll see. If gold goes to 5,000, Bitcoin will probably be 100,000 at that point, be my guess. And so anyway, let me show you my overflow stock. Let me put this like this. Here's my overflow. This is what won't fit in the cabinets. I went to Costco, and I'd already stocked up quite a bit, but you can see there some canned salmon, some canned chicken, some walnuts, a couple bags of walnuts, a whole bunch of raisins, oatmeal, and what you can't see all the way on the end are a few bags of those peanuts, those big bags of peanuts that they have from Virginia. So I'm pretty heavily stocked right now. Oh, and the black beans. There's a Charles Chip container full of black beans. So I've got several 20-pound boxes of dried beans. You buy the 20-pound boxes from the restaurant supply store. I don't know if you guys